100 years have passed since the fight of the century. The two combatants have not been seen since, but there are rumors, whispers in the night of their legendary return. Chuck Chuck and Daniel Ramification. The only thing that is certain is that if these two fighters were to return, then the bout that would ensue would be legendary. In fact, it would be the fight of the Millennia.
Meanwhile,
Millennia, Poison Goblin, Year ZZ4. I've been sent from the future by the Countess of Combat to find the strongest creatures to ever live. We have reason to believe they may be prowling these very grounds. The Countess of Combat herself appointed me specifically to oversee and moderate this here legendary fight. The fight of the Millennia.
I'm back. Chuck Chuck has returned with a new title. I've conquered the Goblin Realm. I've slain millions of goblins on my way back. Millions. They could never stand up to me.
Daniel Flesh Purification! I no longer feel I feasted the carnage of my fucking battle!
We are one of the last of the goblins now, after conquering the goblin race. All goblins have been destroyed. They now call me Greed King, Chuck Chuck. It's my new title. I earned it. I'm destroying countless goblins.
My punches are so fast it pierce the flesh of your body after every hit.
Imagine if you were born, your entire life you were moving. I could surpass that speed instantaneously. I could surpass your speed in a moment. My speed is so far beyond your speed, you have no idea. Daniel Ramification has no idea what's coming his way.
Some people may say to me, Bendelmere, why are you a red goblin? Goblins are supposed to be green. But in the future, poison goblins, like me, are the most common kind of goblin. Every fluid in my body is poisonous. A single drop of my blood in a fight could kill a full-sized woolly dinosaur.
Daniel Flash Peeler Ramification just had a little bit of a squirrel skull stuck in the back of his throat. Basically, the Goblin Realm changed me in a way where I'm no longer my humanity is gone. I fight with Goblin insanity now. My first move is to always take their face and rip it off. Because if they don't have a face, I don't have to look at it.
In order to train my breath, I dove into an underwater cave and I stayed there for 20 months. 20 months without taking a single breath. My lungs can take enough air, suck up an entire room, taking all of the air out of that room, making no one can breathe because I take all of the air in one breath. I can kill 14 million people in a second.
My nose is registered as a vaporizing weapon, class 12, because my snot rockets, they can burn a hole through the hull of any spaceship, any goblin.
I no longer train. My life has been a constant fight since the Goblin Realm. I don't think I've slept since entering it, and I'm pretty sure it's the year 2749 right now.
Whilst in the Goblin Realm, I faced off against the Goblin King. He was the past Greed King. I took his title by destroying him instantaneously. With one punch, I shattered his entire body, destroying him instantly, becoming the new Greed King.
When I first entered the Goblin Realm, I didn't sleep for the first 100 days. At first I thought I lingered on the blink and I just found myself in the new lake I've created with all my victims' blood. It probably took me 3 years to just swim out of the center of that lake. But when I finally reached the new shore, I saw that all the bodies that were left in my sight, there's no civilizations for thousands of miles because of the destruction I've caused.
If I'm surrounded, my kill bubble range has increased 40 times. If I wanted to. You would be dead right now if I had.
In the future, there's only 2 things that matter. In the future of the goblin world. In the future. And one of those things is fighting. I am the official royal moderator for the Combat Goblin Combat Ultra Royal Combat League Federation. And I received this honorable title by defeating the previous moderator. His name was Gogogan Jorogan the Many Eye.
I can climb a mountain in 1 step now. And this is all because of just the sheer calf muscles that I have. It's just like 1 extensions of the legs and I'm on peak already. The first thing that I like to eat for breakfast is probably gotta be rocks mixed with deer guts.
In order to train further, I met with the Goblin Masters. And all the Goblin Masters, pushovers. You know, in fact, I said to them, and then I killed all of them.
Science to enter my body, cover my skeleton, giving my skeleton an exoskeleton of finance, improving my strength probably 100-fold.
It only took me a moment for each Goblin Master. Each died with a single breath. Not even a breath coming out of their mouths. I can take 14 breaths before you can take 1. My lung capacity is unbelievable, insurmountable. I can suck up the air out of an entire warehouse. The air of an entire warehouse into my lungs, suffocating anyone in it.
With my superior ability, I defeated Gogogan Jogogan. I have the ability to place my real body 5 hours in the future. So that way, he was chasing my after image the whole time.
My new goblin abilities. I have 2 of them. One of them is Multi-Clone Shadow, where I summon multiple clones of myself in order to defeat any enemy. My second ability is Goblin Screech. With the Goblin Screech, I am able to pierce the ears of any being, instantly rendering them incapacitated. If I was to use it now, anyone within the 5-mile radius would die.
Whenever I walk through a forest looking for some food, all I have to do is walk up on a dead deer, because when I enter a 500-yard radius of a deer, it dies instantly just out of fear.
I thought, when I heard of the dumpster fire Goblin Pyre, I figured that the goblins would at least be a little bit dangerous. See how I've become this Goblin Sheen. I've become the strongest fighter in the universe ever to exist. That's me. I am Greed King Chuck Chuck. I will destroy everything in my path in order to become the strongest, the most deadly fighter, the absolute strongest. Out of the people who have ever lived on this planet, I believe myself to be the most powerful, and I'll show that tonight in my match versus Daniel Ramification, our final show match. We'll finally see who the strongest is, and I'm confident that it will be me, the strongest of all time, Chuck Chuck.
See, the only reason I'm back in this area in the first place, and I'm not in my true home, the Goblin Realm, the rightful owner of it, is because there's only one man in my lifetime that I didn't defeat, and I have a great feeling that he could be over here today. I don't know who he is anymore, but Chuck Chuck, no matter how and what shape he is, I'm gonna leave him in shambles. After I'm done with him, he's gonna look like human jambalaya, and it's gonna be appetizing. I'm gonna be able to finish him in 1 sip, because he won't even be a challenge for me in any shape that he comes in.
In the future, and throughout time, there have been many great goblin fighters. And I am one of these legendary goblin fighters. But here on this day, we will decide who the greatest goblin fighter to ever live.
Thumbs up! You lose it now!
Time has now screeched to a halt. Resume!
What?
I've just received a transmission from the Combat Countess. This timeline is in danger. Your battle is too powerful. The future sutures won't hold. Our timeline is going to fall apart. We must escape back into an alternate goblin realm.
Fine.
Tactical nuke incoming!